What's up guys, CruelLEGACEY here, and you're watching my Halo Reach Racing Guide. The next Halo Waypoint Community Race Night is coming up soon, so I'm here to help you get ready. Racing is one of my favorite things to do in Halo Reach, but the default race game type has some quirks that you might not expect your first time out, so I'm going to do a quick run through of everything you need to know about racing in Halo Reach. The first thing you'll notice when you play a game of Race in Reach is that things get off to a quick start. There's no pre-game countdown, there's no loadout selection screen, you're dropped straight into the action. The one problem this can cause is that players don't spawn into the game at the exact same time. Everyone's network connection is a little different, so what this means is that some players end up having a split-second head start at the beginning of the race. So what this has led to is that in some cases, map builders have used creative forging techniques to build various forms of starting gates. These can involve barriers that prevent drivers from moving at the start of the race, or gaps in the track that can't be crossed until a missing piece spawns into place. So those are things that you have to look out for at the beginning of a racetrack in Halo Reach. This here is an example of a starting gate that I built for my coastline racetrack. By default, all players spawn into a game of Race with a Mongoose directly under them. However, there is technically nothing stopping players from getting off their Mongoose and proceeding on foot. While this sounds useless when it comes to racing, some players really just can't resist the temptation to jump off their vehicle, go out onto the track on foot, and throw a couple grenades at the other drivers. As problematic as this sounds, it really isn't anything to worry about. Players and vehicles are 100% resistant to weapon damage in Race, so anyone attempting to ruin the game by throwing grenades will be disappointed. Another default element to the race game type is that any player on foot will have their Mongoose respawn back underneath them after a few seconds. This is a particularly valuable fact to remember. If you ever manage to get your Mongoose wedged or stuck between pieces of geometry, all you need to do is get off the Mongoose, walk out in the middle of the road, and wait for a few seconds for your vehicle to respawn back underneath you, and then you're off on your way. Once the race begins, you will see a waypoint marker on your heads-up display. These markers are called checkpoints and are placed by the map maker for two reasons. They help guide drivers around the track, and they also act as respawn points. If you meet your demise at any point during the race, you will respawn at the last checkpoint you passed. With a physics engine like Halo's, it is completely possible to end up somewhere on the map that the designer did not intend. A funny bounce over a stray fusion core, and you just might achieve low orbit before landing halfway across Forge World. Now in a perfect world, the map maker would prevent players from venturing off the track with an impenetrable net of kill boundaries. No matter how many kill boundaries are placed around the track, there's always a chance that you might fall through a gap and end up somewhere off-road with no way back to the racing track. If you ever find yourself in this situation during a race, your first option is to look around and see if there's any way for you to get back to the track on foot. Remember, you only have a few seconds before your Mongoose respawns under you, but that's sometimes all you need to jump back onto the road. Failing that, you only have one other option: a swift and timely death. Even if you fall off the track and slip between kill boundaries, there's a good chance you're not too far away from a kill zone. A few seconds of driving and you'll probably hit one. If you're anywhere near water, you can always go for a nice quick swim and wait for your respawn. One last little tip: do yourself a favor and play some tunes while you race. The in-game announcer's voice saying "checkpoint reached" every 5 seconds will drive you insane real fast unless you have something to drown him out. So crank up the custom soundtrack and put the pedal to the metal. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure that you swing by the next Halo Waypoint Community Race Night and drive some laps with us. If you want to know more about racing in Halo Reach, you can always swing by my website, CruelLEGACEYProductions.com. I've got lots of videos and custom racetracks ready for you to download, so check them out.